All right, less than 100 days away from the Olympics. I can't even believe it myself, but what's the energy like at USA Gymnastics leading up to all this?
Well, it's amazing how quickly the Olympics come. You know, that you get to the Olympic year and it just seems like every day goes so quickly, and the next thing you know, you're onto the next event, and now we're looking right down the pipe at the Olympic Games. So the intensity level's getting pretty high, and we've got some great events coming up with the Visa Championships and the trials, so everybody's getting ready.
What is so special about gymnastics?
What makes this sport so special are the athletes. There's no finer group of athletes in the world, in my opinion. When you look at the physical fitness of these guys and the commitment that they make, they train harder than any athlete that I've ever seen. I've been around a lot of sports. I've never seen athletes that train as hard as these guys do, and that are as intelligent and personable. I mean, it's just the complete package. And I just think this sport offers so much, not just at the elite level, but the grassroots level as well, for people of all ages. So I just think it's the complete sport. And I think that it's easy to get behind a group of athletes that show the dedication and commitment that this group does.
Okay, Bella's Ranch, you know, we're here. Can you talk a little bit about what his ranch does for USA Gymnastics and just even for the world for gymnastics?
Well, there's a real mystique and a magic about being here, and the name Caroli definitely lends a lot to that. You know, he takes great pride in having built this with his own two hands and continues to look to how he can improve it. And I think having it be the National Training Center for the women and having his name and Marta's name attached to it gives it prestige, you know, and gives it worldwide acclaim. And so when you invite countries from around the world to come to the United States and to come to the Women's National Team Training Center that happens to be the home of the legendary coach, you know, the combination of that is extremely powerful. And it's a real asset for our country to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, when I drove up today, I was like, man, this is really cool.
The first time you come here, you know, you're just blown away with what's here in the middle of this forest, and not just the gymnastics facilities, but the style is very rustic, it's very genuine, it's very almost raw in such a way that it is a great training environment, but it has the modern conveniences, you know, and the hospitality here is great. I mean, Marta and Bella go out of their way to make sure that people feel welcome, and they want it to feel like a home away from home, and that's what happens here. You know, the girls live together, they train together, they become a team here, the coaches are able to develop camaraderie, and it really works. Add the camels and the zebras and everything else on top of it, and you know, you've got something kind of cool. This sport offers so much for young people that the positive aspects of what gymnastics provides outweigh any negative aspects. I mean, every sport has its challenges. Any sport in the world you can become injured in. Any sport in the world, there's going to be challenges and issues that you're going to run into. Gymnastics provides so much benefit to young people, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, from confidence. There's just so many aspects of this sport that I think are beneficial for young people. And the other thing I believe is that when you look at what these athletes are doing and you look at what's required of a gymnast today, you can't ask someone to go do that. You can't just say, get up on the beam and do this. Get up on the bars and do this. Go do this tumbling pass. A gymnast has to want to do what they're doing. And the sport has evolved in such a way that they have to be a great athlete, they have to be strong, they have to be nutritionally fit, and they have to want to do it. Because that's the only, everything that happens in this sport comes from within you. And if you can do it, you're going to be very successful. And that's a positive thing. That's something that is an important benchmark for any individual, to overachieve and to overcome their own mental image of what they can do for themselves. The 2004 team was really the first group that emerged in an Olympic year that had gone through the new system the first time. And so they were a real team. They were supportive of one another, but there was a great amount of diversity. You had young Carly Patterson, and then you had Anya Hatch, you know, so they're Mohini Bhardwaj. So there was a real difference between the youngest member and the oldest member and what their experience had been. I think this group has been together longer in the system and the program. They're a little tighter within the age group and things, and so they relate to each other at a more common level than the 04 team did. This is a great group of young ladies. I've found them extremely personable. They're handling the pressure very well. I think the fact that they've been so successful the last few years is just paying tremendous dividends, and will give them the confidence that they need going into the Olympic arena. I mean, and they know that just being there as a team and just having each other is one of the most powerful things that they're going to take into that building. And that's going to make a big difference when they're competing against the Chinese on home turf.